Good afternoon. It is a random Thursday, the second half of June, and I thought I would give you guys a Wonderland Trail training update. I'm kind of failing, I'll be honest with you. Well, at least for June I am. April was great. You saw that video. I did, I don't know, like 75, 80 miles, lots of trails, but I got mild plantar fasciitis at the end of that month because of all the stuff I did. I did like, I don't know, 28 miles in 48 hours. And then the next week did like 13 or 14 miles in a day. And it just made things angry in my foot. I've since gone to the foot doctor, getting my orthotics replaced. There's still some tenderness there. Doing stretches 3 times a day. No bueno. Regardless of the foot issues, I still had a pretty darn good May. Not as many miles, but I think close to 60. Good elevation gain. Did a great training hike, Goat Mountain. It is like just about 4 miles up, 4,300 feet of elevation gain. It's a tough one, that is for sure. But it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. The next week, I was supposed to then go to Scotchman Peak, which is right across from Goat Mountain. But I started feeling sick. I was super exhausted, had a sore throat coming on. And although I probably could have made it, I was hiking with 2 people that were doing a Mount Baker climb the week after. And I wanted to be fair to them, not expose them to whatever I was starting to get so they couldn't do their hike. That wouldn't have been nice. So I stayed home and rested. So that weekend I got no miles in, which was pretty disappointing. I was able to fight it off without getting too sick, so I was thankful about that. It only kept me down for that weekend. And then the weekend after that, my husband and I went out of town. I met up with friends. We did an off-road trail called the Rubicon Trail. It is amazing there. It's near Lake Tahoe. It's probably like the most iconic trail for off-roading in the world. It's pretty cool. I am on the Rubicon Trail off-roading with my husband near Lake Tahoe. It is beautiful. Check it out. I did actually hike most of that because we camped on trail. So for 3 days, I was pretty much walking most of it. I'm just hiking the trail, waiting for these slow pokes on 4 wheels. Whew, almost fell. And although it wasn't like a super fast pace, there were some good inclines, got my heart rate going, and at least I was moving. Me and Pops are getting our steps in today. Up Walker Hill. It's a doozy on foot. The views were beautiful. It's granite and pines. I could so move there. It's amazing. I love the Tahoe area. It's where my husband and I got married. We both have tattoos with the coordinates for Lake Tahoe. Right there, special place in our heart. But I'm feeling the crunch. I have about 9.5 weeks before I hit the Wonderland Trail. And there's been some new developments over the last, couple months that the northwest side of Mount Rainier is not accessible by car or foot. So the Mowich area is closed down due to an old bridge that has been deemed unsafe. So there's no way to get there. And that was where we were supposed to have food cache, our first food cache, at the end of day 3. And then our second food cache is at Longmire, which is like a day 6.5. So now we are going from carrying food for only a few days at a time to carrying almost a week's worth of food from the get-go and only having 1 food cache at Longmire. Gonna be a heavy pack. Gonna be challenging, but I'm sure rewarding at the same time. So I'm hiking this afternoon, Antoine Peak, just local. As you know, it's about, a little over 5.5 miles. Wait, I take that back. A little under 5.5 miles. Since I got such a late start, it's almost 3 o'clock and I have other things I have to do. It was about all I could do to get in a hike today, but it's better than nothing. Tomorrow, Friday, I plan to do, Liberty Lake Loop, so I can get a 10-mile hike in. I have a prayer commitment on Saturday, and then Sunday I'll hike again. I don't know what trail yet, but at least I'll be able to get 3 hikes in this weekend to work on my training. I'm just really feeling that push to up my game. I need to increase my weight. I have 23 or 24 pounds in my backpack right now. I would like to get that up to 28 to 30 by the end of July. So I have a little over a month, and if not sooner. Then once I reach that 28 to 30 pounds, I'll just keep it there until I do the Wonderland Trail. I'm really comfortable with that 30 to 32 pounds when I'm backpacking. I know that there's a possibility that it could be heavier with a week's worth of food. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping my base weight will be low enough to where I'm not past 32 pounds. We don't have to carry a ton of water at a time. We'll see. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna do it no matter what. No matter how hard it is, how tiring it is, how much I hurt, I'm gonna do it. I'm determined. I'm stubborn. I have a 4-day backpacking trip at the end of July where I'm going to Snowshoe Lake in Montana. I heard it's a pretty rugged trail. Going with some friends that have done that trail quite a bit. They claim this is going to be their last time doing it, that they're willing to take me, which I'm excited about. Should be a lot of fun. Sounds like the trail is pretty unmaintained. I'm hoping to climb Snowshoe Peak. I was told it was the tallest peak in Montana. So that's pretty cool. Should be a good time. Would really like to get some other backpacking trips in, even if it's for just one overnight. We'll see how that goes. Just trying to make the plans, trying to do what I can to get myself prepared. You know, the Wonderland Trail has been on my bucket list since I was in my early 20s, so over 20 years. I'm so excited to fulfill that dream. It really is crazy that I get to do it. I'm blessed, really am blessed. Next week, I'm going to visit my niece in Leavenworth for the day, and I had planned on camping and then going and doing Lake Caroline to Windy Pass, because that's the only area of the enchantments I have not been to, at least the permitted area. But there's a manhunt going on. He's in that area and everyone's like on high alert and they haven't found him. Just for safety reasons, since I would be hiking by myself, I'm not gonna do it. My husband was very uncomfortable with it and I don't blame him. I'm not the most comfortable with it either. You know, with a fugitive on the loose, that just isn't worth it. So I need to figure out other plans. So I'm looking at my hiking books, looking at all trails, trying to decide what I'm going to delve into next week. Maybe a backpacking trip, we'll see. There's so many flowers on Antoine Peak right now. It's beautiful. So I will continue to keep you updated on my summer adventures and my Wonderland preparation hikes and how my progress is with feeling more and more prepared. I was thinking about convincing my husband to be okay with me going and doing the Lowitz Loop, which is around St. Helens with the Mountaineers. But it's the 4th of July weekend, and my husband and I always spend the 4th of July together. We always watch fireworks together, we barbecue. I'm feeling a little guilty even thinking about wanting to go on that trip, but man, it would be pretty cool to do the trail around the base of Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier in one summer. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see. Back at my Bronco. Oh, I got a new one. I traded in the Cyber Orange 2021 Badlands and got this 2025 Strop Edition Bronco. It's only 2 doors instead of 4 doors. I really like it. Had it for 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Maybe not even that long. I'm excited to kind of make this into my camping rig and maybe a little overlanding. So I will show you those upgrades on it as I do them. Thanks for joining me today for this update on my training preparation and my summer plans. See you next time. Here's a week later, back on Antoine Peak, making it longer miles, and I have 30 pounds on my back. My husband midweek said, I think you should go ahead and go do the Lowit Loop around Mount St. Helens, which makes me happy. I still feel really weird about going on the 4th of July weekend, because even though we don't have huge plans, we always barbecue. We always go watch fireworks together. And it's something that we look forward to and enjoy. Still not 100% sure if I'm going, but I did reach out to the leaders with the mountaineers that are doing that hike. And because it isn't an easy hike, you do have to get pre-approval to go on it. So I did get the pre-approval. I let them know that I would tell them in the next couple days if I was going to go or not. And I'm testing out how my foot is feeling with 30 pounds on my back. So far so good, but I'm only 3 miles into the hike, and it certainly is not crazy elevation by any means, but it's a good test. What is hurting though is my left hip, the muscles around it. I have a old hiking injury.
Is that an old war injury flaring up?
From 2021, when I was training for the enchantments, I fell really hard on a steep trail and just smashed my tailbone. And ever since then, I've dealt with some issues from that. Nothing really debilitating by any means. Pilates helps strengthen that area with my hip flexors a lot, but for some reason, it's bothering me right now. I'm assuming it's just because I jumped up in weight so fast from, 23 pounds to 30. But otherwise, it feels good on my back. My legs feel fine. My heel feels okay at the moment. What I did find out last Friday, so a week ago today, I decided to do just a 20-minute treadmill workout, literally only 2.5 miles per hour, after doing a leg workout because I couldn't motivate myself to go hiking in the cold, windy weather. And I'm pretty sure that the treadmill is what has caused the plantar fasciitis. I bought it used this past winter. We get a lot of snow in the Spokane area, so it was just nice to have an extra way to exercise. Hadn't used it in a couple months because of increased number of miles with hiking. Why go on the treadmill when I can be outside hiking? Well, I was 10 minutes on the treadmill and I started having pain in my heel, and then I remembered I had been having pain in my heel when I was using the treadmill regularly the last couple months that I was using it. But I didn't think a whole lot of it because it only bothered me while I was on the treadmill. It didn't bother me any other time. Now, mind you, when I'm on the treadmill, I literally change the speed and the incline every 5 minutes. So I'm not doing the exact same thing the whole time. But apparently that repetitive same type of step must have flared it up. I don't know, it's crazy. Because I've never had problems like that before when it comes to hiking and whatnot. So apparently the treadmill is not going to be a thing for me anymore. At least not anytime soon until I get this completely under control. So I kind of took a couple steps backward. My feet hurt for a couple of days. They were throbbing at night. I had to take ibuprofen. I did a 7-mile hike 2 days later. Was hurting by the end. Feel a lot better. Still continue to do my stretches. Man, it's frustrating. Yeah, I have orthotics. I'm getting new ones. I'm waiting for them to come in. But I've never had feet issues like this before. Super frustrating. So 2025 is my year of feeling a bit older, but I will work through it and I will overcome the problems. I'm certainly not going to be giving up hiking until I physically cannot do it at all. I'll be okay. I'll figure it out. Back to the Mount Rainier Loop. I did a little research on it. It's certainly not an easy hike by any means, but it looks amazing. And I think it's going to be a great training for me when it comes to the Wonderland Trail this year. Probably build my confidence a little bit about that. I think that I've been really struggling the last week with just feeling like I need to be out in seclusion in the mountains. I think that anybody who enjoys hiking and being deep in the wilderness can understand that when you haven't been able to do it, with the exception of like day hikes. I don't know, my soul just says, take me to the mountains, let me hang out there for a few days and just decompress and be in thoughts that just surround being in the wilderness and not having social media and work and phone calls and things, distractions. So I'm looking forward to it. Again, I haven't made up my mind 100%, but I'm definitely leaning towards going, and I think it would probably be a really good experience and an amazing time. So if I do the Lowit Loop, I will make sure to make a video of that, and that way I can bring you guys along for the beautiful scenery. I know there's obviously not only amazing views of Mount St. Helens, but Rainier and Adams and Hood, lots of different terrain, lava fields, water crossings, all the stuff. So I will bring you along.